welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Time to talk a little bit of Artesia Public Schools information, and we have Assistant Superintendent Mike.
We got to go back a few years, Gene, for that.
I'm sorry.
Good morning, Dad.
Superintendent Thad Phipps is with us here today. How you doing this morning?
I'm great, thank you.
Congratulations on your recent wedding.
Well, thank you. I sure appreciate that. Wandine and I are so happy, and we were so blessed to have so many of our family members here in Artesia and our community to be there to support us. So we want to say thank you to everybody for that.
Well, good. I'd let you know we were getting the church set up to start streaming again, their services in the new sanctuary, and I broke the video screens.
Oh, no.
I was up there fiddling around with stuff, and at one point they had the switcher up there, and Holly said, "Don't touch that."
Leave it alone.
And this was after I'd broken the screens, and so I think I had... but no, it was a simple thing for them to fix.
Fix it up.
But they were getting ready for your wedding that was going to be later that afternoon. And,
yes, sir.
And so we had to get all that fixed. They had the guy from Lubbock had to fix everything that I broke. So.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yeah. Philip Brown didn't make it down, but it was one of the Moyer young men that was there. I got to visit with him for a minute.
Yeah, they're great folks. I think they've done some work for the schools in the past.
They have. Yes, they have done a lot of work. Pretty much all of our public address systems in the pit, at the bowl, and places were put in by the Moyers. So
yeah, well, you can hear everything that's going on. So
yes, sir. Especially when Danny Parker's speaking into the into the mic, you can hear it all the way down, like maybe on Roselawn or even down here at the radio stations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I tell you what's interesting. Twice now this year, when the visiting team radio station has shown up to broadcast the game. They've moved upstairs. I don't know what it is about Mr. Parker, but this past week it wasn't Mr. Parker. It was Mr. Null that was doing the PA.
Yes.
And so that's twice now. The Ruidoso radio guys and the Las Cruces radio guys
went upstairs.
They went upstairs and they sat just over from where I sit.
Well, we try to be very hospitable. We're fortunate to have cookies that people bake for us all the time, and the folks bring us hamburgers, and we got Benjamin Flores and all the ladies making hot dogs and nachos, and so we try to be hospitable to people.
Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Parker's just too boisterous. Maybe he's scary for those other guys. I don't know.
Well, in all fairness, this past Saturday, what a beautiful day.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better weather. I mean, there are no clouds, no wind, the sun, the temperatures were good. And so I think for Jeff Matthews, who I know came over from Las Cruces, he said, this is just a much more beautiful place to sit.
You bet.
Nothing wrong with downstairs, but he said, "Can I sit up here?" And I said, "Well, yeah, if you want,
Absolutely.
Wherever you want to sit." So, and then, of course, we've got a big game this Saturday. And
yes, sir.
How's the, I don't know if you've been involved with the ticket deal, but everybody's had to adapt now to this new, you got to buy your ticket on your phone
yes.
thing. Is that people starting to figure that out?
Yes, I think so, and Coach Henderson and Lou Lopez and Penny Yahtzee have just reached out to our community for those folks that aren't, technologically savvy, and said, hey, you come in and we'll get it done. And so I just appreciate those three folks taking care of our community that don't have, cell phone savvy and that sort of thing. So if you get stuck, folks, and need a ticket and you can't get it on your phone, please go see Lou and Penny and Coach Henderson down there, and they'll just get you taken care of.
Yeah, because we don't want to turn anybody away. We want as many folks to come out as possible.
Come to the game.
My guy that does the promos for us, he did the promo for Saturday, and we were playing the Farmington Redhawks. And he even had the screeching of the hawk in the promo. And I said, where did you get that? And apparently when he looked it up on Google, he found Farmington, Massachusetts. And so we were playing the Farmington, Massachusetts Redhawks. And I said, no.
I don't think so. No, they are the Scorpions.
They are the ones in New Mexico,
Yes.
the Scorpions. So we hope we have a big crowd for that. So tell us your role right now with the Artesia Public Schools. You're Assistant Superintendent of
Operations.
So
Yes,
what does
sir.
that's a pretty entailed position.
Yes, sir. So pretty much the things that aren't, inside of the curriculum aspect and dealing with students and teachers. So things like cafeteria and transportation, purchasing, construction, and that sort of thing. Just kind of operations that happen outside of the classroom and things of that nature. And so I'm very blessed, to work with lots of skilled folks and folks that have passion for kids. Scotty Stahl is the director of technology, and Scott Seimer is our director of maintenance. So I get to work alongside those guys a lot, and the ladies in our business department really take care of us on the operations side, making sure that our purchase orders are done and that our invoices are paid. And Katrina Beveridge is our accounts payable lady, and assistant business manager Joy Conklin and Janet, and just everybody in the office that helps with the construction and payment of things. All of that doesn't work without a team effort, and so we just appreciate those ladies and appreciate the maintenance department and everything that they do on the operations side, and Scotty Stahl and his team and technology. There's a lot of computers in our district, and so when you're trying to operate those things, there's over 4,000 in individual devices that they're in charge of, and making sure that our kids have what they need for technology. And just appreciate the whole team effort that our administrative folks put forth, and of course our building principals and our teachers and cafeteria folks. Just everybody in a team effort makes it all work.
And as everybody's aware, the last couple of years have been a real challenge with the COVID pandemic. So from an operations standpoint, what did you have to change, or what did you kind of have to enhance or just kind of modify as far as your facilities were concerned with COVID?
We enhanced our cleaning procedures, and our custodians do a really good job of following that pattern that Mr. Seimer and Mr. Flores have set forth before them, and so there's just extra deep cleaning that happens using our electrostatic foggers on a regular basis inside of all areas of the buildings. Not just the classrooms, but hallways, restrooms, everything like that, even our buses. That's an extra effort. We purchased HEPA filters for each one of our classrooms, educational spaces, which helps remove viruses, down to the virus size out of the air. And then the filters that we were putting in our units were trying to put MERV 13 where we can, which is the requirement that the public education department wants us to do. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes of our units, as Eric Gunderson and Scott Seimer will tell you, they don't like those MERV 13s, but we're putting the highest MERV rating that we can just to try to filter the air as best we can. And of course, the unpopular mask mandate is part of it, that students, while they're in the building, while they're in the classroom, have to do that. While they're on the bus, they're required to wear masks. And so anyhow, those type of things from an operations standpoint are things that we had to do. And what's good, Gene, is that we're in school, and that all the kids that want to come to school can come to school. We're obviously playing our sports. Our FFA is on fire, band, choir, everything is going strong. Much different than we were sitting here a year ago last fall. Everybody was virtual, and so while we're having to wear a few masks, and while we're having to do a few things that maybe I don't even like to have to do, we're so blessed that kids are in school, and we're so happy that they're here, and we just appreciate all the efforts that the teachers and the staff are making to get our kids back into the groove that we need to be in moving forward, loving on them, and getting them going again. So
that's great. Now you brought some things with you. Were there a couple topics you wanted to cover this morning?
Well, I just wanted to speak to the community, and for those that weren't able to attend our last board meeting, and just let them know that the school board approved our facilities master plan for the next 5 years, and we will be submitting that to the Public School Facility Authority here in the next day or two. But just a few description of projects that might be coming our way. Decker Parrott Sabatini is our design firm out of Albuquerque that helped us with this project, and they came down and spent a week with us evaluating our facilities, the current facilities that we had, and gave us about 100-page report that included all 10 campuses that said, here's what we saw on the buildings that you have now, and the deficiencies that we have that we think you might need to take care of. And then they also helped us with a utilization and a capacity study that said you have have about 3,750 kids in your district, and what does that look like at each one of the 10 campuses? Do you have enough room at each building, so on and so forth? And then what might be coming at you in the next 5 or 10 years, student enrollment wise, that might cause you to have to construct new construction. And so those are the two things that they helped us with, and we had lots of meetings with our principals, and meetings with our parent advisory council, and just meetings internally, trying to gather input on what people are seeing that we might need for our facilities, and just some things that might, and I always use the word might, because it depends on our enrollment, and it depends on whether we have funds. If oil and gas stays up and everything goes well. Want to give a big shout out to our community for supporting our HB 33 election. Our 5 mil levy is so super important, because these projects can't happen, Gene, without our HB 33. And so thank you to our community for supporting that. And so I just want to read just a list of things that may be coming up in the next 5 years that are large projects, things that'll take tremendous capital funds. So the first one that's already in the design phase, Gene, is rigging, lighting, sound, and electrical modifications for the Estelle Yates Auditorium. There's some real needs there. There's some safety issues with our current rigging system, and it's still manual, where our students are pulling on ropes and moving the curtains, big heavy curtains, our light bars up and down, and so there's some safety concerns there. We need to improve our lighting, sound, and that sort of thing. So that's one of them that's coming. It's already in the design phase. We're also working to design the first phase of our career technical education buildings at Artesia High School. We hope to have 3 phases, is what we hope. The first phase will be there at the tennis courts between the old girls gym and the old boys gym there, gym 2 and gym 3, and so that's coming. We're looking at to expand our freezer area over at Artesia Junior High School kitchen. That's been a long coming thing. Aaron and his staff just get in tons of food every week, and we just need more space over there. Some renovation of some fire sprinklers and things like that at the junior high. That system is pretty antiquated. It's still working, but we need to do some things there. And then just some construction of new space over at Roselawn Elementary that would have better opportunities for our access program that we're moving over there, along with some speech therapy. And then in terms of growth, if we start seeing growth and things of that nature, then we're looking at possibly constructing a space very similar to what we did at Yucca, about a 16 to 18,000 square foot expansion over at Hermosa. That's something that might be in our future. And then we got some bubble classes coming.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you hang on for just a second?
Go ahead, Gene. I'm
break
sorry.
for news. No, can you stick around for just a little bit?
You bet.
All right. This is all important stuff. We want to get this out there to you. So we're going to take a break for news. We'll be back with Thad Phipps in just a moment. This is KSVP Artesia, K2.